Well, good afternoon, everyone, or kind of morning. We're on the edge. Before I introduce or get going here, I want to do a few cleanup things. This is a webinar. So your faces will not be seen unless we have a signed media release form earlier. That being said, the Q&A is open as well as the chat. So if you have questions for our keynote speaker today, please put them in the chat and I will monitor that for her. This is 1 hour long and I would like to introduce you to Pam Smith. Pam Smith's speech today is Stepping into a Better You. Pam Smith is a certified life coach who empowers women to grow to their next desired level. She knows what it feels like to be stuck, and she wants to help her clients go from enduring life to enjoying life. Pam loves and cherishes spending time with her grandchildren, who she refers to as her heartbeats. Isn't that beautiful? She is known for being a personal growth junkie. She has dedicated over 30 years of not only personally growing herself and assisting others in their personal success stories. Pam has a unique gift to encourage you, putting a different perspective on top of your perspective. How cool is that? No matter what you've been through, what you think you lack, Pam will help you unleash your greatness so you can see how amazing you are. Help me welcome to the virtual lectern, Miss Pam Smith.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to speak with you all this morning. I am so excited. One of my mentors and my coach is John Maxwell, a leadership expert. John Maxwell says everything rises and falls on leadership. I just love that because that's what we do. We are all leaders. One guarantee that we have is there will be constant change in leadership. So we must become the best versions of ourselves so that we can become better leaders. We're going to talk about that today, stepping into a better you. How do you step into a better you? By simply becoming a better you. Becoming a better you. Don't you just love that word, becoming? It's an action word. And we all know that it takes action in order to be a leader, right? Do any of you know of a good leader who doesn't take action? It doesn't matter if it's sometimes a small action or if it's a big action. We all have to take action as a leadership sometimes. As leaders, we have to be prepared because we never know whether we have to take leadership in our own personal lives or if we have to take leadership with our teams. To become a better you is not automatic. You can't just say, I'm going to become a better you. I'm going to go to bed tonight. I'm going to get up in the morning and boom, I am a better you. The same thing with leadership. We can be born leaders, but to evolve and become better and better at being a leader and being able to lead others, it is not automatic. It won't just happen. We have to put in the work for it. It will always require something of the present you to become a better you. I have 3 questions that I want to start off with asking you all. Yes, I am a life coach and life coaches like to ask questions. So if you're on here on the chat or anything and you want to answer them in the chat, you can, but you don't have to. You can just save the questions to ask yourself for later. Do you feel like you have arrived already and there's no more evolution left in you? Do you feel like you have no more room to grow? You have reached your full potential. Or do you feel like you haven't arrived? You just try and try, but you just feel like you're just stuck somewhere. It's like you're on a treadmill, just walking and walking, but you're not going anywhere. Or you may feel like you're somewhere in the middle. You haven't quite arrived yet, but you're not quite there yet. You're doing everything that you know to do, and you're just on your way. You're just on your way. That's when you have to have a shift in your mindset. Our mindsets are very powerful when it comes to stepping into a better you, when it comes to growing into a better leader. Becoming a better you, after all, is a choice. Part of becoming a better you is to personally grow. Again, we're talking about stepping, we're talking about taking actions, stepping into becoming a better you, stepping into becoming a better leader. It's a choice. You can either step forward, because that's what leaders do. Think about it. Leaders always have to be one step ahead of everybody else. Or you can choose to step backward into your safety zone. Now, a little caution there. If you choose to go backwards a little bit and stay in your comfort zone, remember that next leader is always right there behind you, ready to step up. So just be cognizant of that when you're making that choice, do I really want to make that choice to go backwards? Sometimes we have to. We have to have that balance. So sometimes you have to catch your breath. You have to regroup again. Becoming a better you and personally growing has to be chosen over again and again. It's not just a one and done. You can't just say, okay, you know what? I'm a leader now. I've chosen to grow. This is where I'm at. I'm just going to stop here. No, sorry, it doesn't work like that. You have to continually grow. You have to continually evolve. Any good leader knows that there is a level of fear that comes along with being a leader. Why? Because you're responsible. Again, like I said earlier, everything falls and rises on leadership. So that gives you a little leverage of fear there, which can be a good thing. Because all you have to do is just choose over again. I'm going to overcome the fear in this area. I'm going to overcome this setback. I'm going to overcome maybe a challenge that I'm having with my team. So again, you just have to keep saying or stepping. Just remember, it's an action word. Just keep stepping forward no matter what. A quote from Abraham Maslow, he just puts it in a nutshell for us. He said, wanting to become our best selves can sometimes come as quick as a thought. However, pursuing our best self is where the real challenge comes in. I just absolutely love that. I just envision myself in that quote all the time. You have to pursue it. Again, it is not going to be automatic. The essence of becoming a better you and personally growing is going to require a few things. Remember, I told you it's always going to require something from the present you to become a better you. This is going to be fun. This is where the coaching part comes in at. So a few things that it's going to require from you is honesty. You have to be honest with yourself. And when I say be honest with yourself, that means know your strengths. Know your weaknesses. Know exactly where you stand and what you're capable of doing, because honesty means everything. You don't want to say, oh, you know what? I can be a leader. I can lead this group. And then when you get in the group, you find out, this may be a little bit more than what I thought it was going to be. Be honest with yourself and be honest with the people. It may be something to where if you make a few little adjustments, you can grow into that and continue on. Or it may be to where you say, I think I just bit off a little bit more than I can chew. What can we do to make this happen? When Colleen asked me to come on here, she was one of the first people that I thought about when she asked me to speak on this, because I'm like, how in the world does Colleen ever make enough time to do all of the things that she does? So honesty for me would be, I know good and well I could not do the role that Colleen does because I just don't have the time or the energy or the resources to do it. That's just an example of being honest with yourself. Commitment. After honesty, you have to have commitment. Leadership takes commitment. You have to be willing to not watch TV programs. You have to be willing to not spend a lot of time, go out with your girlfriends or boyfriends or do whatever you want because you're preparing for your team. You're preparing to help them. You may want to go out and have fun, and your team member may say, I need you. So you have to have that commitment, excuse me. Resilience. You have to be resilient. One of my favorite commercials, and you guys have probably all seen this too. One of my favorite commercials is where the kid was on the laptop and he was just trying his best, just playing with things. And then he started crying, oh, mom, oh, mom. No, he was happy. He said, oh, mom, we won. We're rich. We're rich. The first thing the mom did was grabbed her tablet, put on the parent control. And she's like, oh, no, honey, we are not rich. This is just a game. And the kid said, oh, man. And mom said, ice cream. He said, okay. He bounced back just that quick. Mom didn't say when we were getting the ice cream. She did not say how much the ice cream, what kind of ice cream. She just said ice cream. He bounced back that quick. As leaders, we have to be able to bounce back because not only are we dealing with our own personalities and our own emotions, right? We're dealing with our team. Sometimes we can have 2 or 3 people on our team. Sometimes we can have 20 people on our team. They're not going to always love you and be there for you and be cooperative and do things the way you see it because, again, they have their version of the way things should be ran as well. So you have to be able to be resilient and bounce back when things don't go the way you think they should go. That's part of becoming a better you. That's part of becoming a better leader. I hope you all are getting something out of this. I'm just having a real ball up here because it's like, oh yeah, you know what? I forgot about that. I absolutely love this. The last point that I want to leave on the essence of becoming a better you is being intentional. Everything we do must be intentional. When I say be intentional, it doesn't have to be something really big and something elaborate. And remember at the beginning, I said it can either be something very small or it can be something big. Being intentional can just be taking a seemingly small step, such as deciding to get up earlier in the morning. And if I can be transparent and be honest, I can say, for me, it would be working on my agenda for Toastmasters. Just something small. Learning how to get on the Zoom call without panicking. It doesn't have to be anything really big. Or you can do something even bigger, like investing into a good life coach who could help you improve in different aspects of your lives. Because at the end of the day, you have to understand that you are an investment. So you have to invest in yourself. Again, whether it's a small action or whether it's a big action, you have to invest in yourself because if you don't invest in yourself, if you don't think you're worthy enough, or if you don't think you're valuable enough, guess what? Your team is not going to think so either. And why is that? That's because people are only going to meet you where you meet yourself. People are only going to see you how you see yourself. So if you don't see yourself as an investment, as to invest in yourself so you can add value to others, then no one else is going to see you like that. So when you expect something from your team and you haven't invested, they're probably not going to invest either because you are that example. You are showing them what leadership is. So you have to invest in yourself so you will be able to better serve them. So you ask, how do I become a better me? How do I personally grow? How do I become a better leader? What does it take? I am so glad you asked me that. And I have an answer for you. Are you all ready for the answer? To be able to take control of your life, to become a better you, and live up to your fullest potential, we're going to talk about 5 areas that you can focus on. Those 5 areas are physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial. Because you have to have balance to be a better you. You have to have balance to be in leadership. So we're going to start out talking about the physical aspect. Don't ever, ever, ever take your health for granted. You have to implement self-care. Know how to take care of yourself. It is not always mind over matter when it comes to your health. You cannot lead someone else if you're not healthy. You can't become a better version of yourself if you're not healthy. I want to share a story with you all, and I love this story. It's about a cobbler who lived in a large village. He was the only cobbler in town. So guess what? That's tremendous leadership. He was the only cobbler in town. His responsibility was repairing the boots for everybody in the town. So as he was preparing his boots for everyone in the town, because again, everything falls on leadership. So for him to fill the boots, what did that mean? That was a huge responsibility because people need their boots to go to work. They need their boots to go to school. They need their boots for everything or they can't go out. So as he was repairing the boots for everyone else, he didn't have time to repair his own boots. Now, it wasn't a problem at first, but over time, his boots began to deteriorate and fall apart while he worked feverishly on everyone else's boots. He began to get blisters on his feet, and then he started to limp. Well, lo and behold, his customers did start to worry about that because not only did they care for him, but they were thinking about themselves as well, because when we are leading people, they tend to think about themselves a lot. So if you're not able to fix my boots, what's going to happen to me? But that cobbler just assured everybody that everything was okay. However, after a few years, the cobbler's feet got so injured that he could no longer repair anybody else's boots. Guess what happened after that? Remember, the people that you lead are following you. So if his feet started to blister and he started to limp, guess what happened to everybody else who was under him? They began to limp and be in pain as well. No one got their boots fixed. The principle behind this story is we so often disregard ourselves. After a while, we are no good to anyone else. Our best intentions, and as leaders, we do give our best intentions, means nothing anymore because we're not able to do what we were meant to do. We're not able to walk in our purpose. We're not able to let our light shine to help someone else. It doesn't matter who you are. It goes for professionals, it goes for employees, it goes for leaders, teachers, parents, even your friends. If you don't take the time to care for yourself, no one else is going to care for you. Now, while you're taking care of yourself, learn to have fun. Have a good time on your Becoming a Better You journey. Becoming a better you is supposed to be fun. Take care of your health first, and then you'll be able to help other people. Pam's pearl for you on this is self-care is not self-pamper. It is self-preservation. You must take care of the leader within, and then you'll be able to take care of others. The next one is mental aspect. Mental aspect is just simply sharpening your mind, challenging yourself to grow, to stretch mentally. Always keep yourself open to learning, whether that means get in front of a new group, read you some books, find podcasts, do whatever you need to do to keep your mind sharpened. There was once a child, his teachers called his parents regularly to tell them that this child was weak and could never succeed in life. The teachers was convinced that his brain was not teachable, that it was just a waste of time. But no one knew that this person would invent so many things that we would never ever forget him for centuries. The biggest learning of his success story was 1,000 attempts when he failed at his job, but he never stopped. His drive led him to astonishing success. Now he's one of the world's most famous success stories. Yes, you all know who I'm talking about, Thomas Edison. He didn't allow someone else's perception on his mental capacity to stop him. When other people wanted him to stop, no, he said, I'm going to keep a positive mindset, and he kept going. That's what we have to do. As we're learning and growing, we have to keep a positive mindset. So keep reading, keep writing, get in front of the right circles. Make sure you're never, ever the smartest person in the room. The next one is emotions. Emotions. I had to just stop on that because aren't we just so full of emotions as human beings? All kinds of emotions. Emotions play an important role in our lives. They play a role in how we think, how we behave. Our emotions can compel how we take action and influence a decision that we make. How we deal with other people. Sometimes we have to check our emotions on how we deal with other people. We have to have emotions. But the good thing about it is our emotions can grow just like we can. So I like to call it emotional maturity. Emotional maturity for me just means admitting when I need help. That's for me. You find out what emotional maturity you have. For me, it's just admitting that I have help, that I need help. I'm sorry. Pam's pearl for you on this is be intentional about recognizing which emotion you feel in the morning. Because usually it's that emotion that shapes your whole day. So when you wake up in the morning, if you have a sad emotion, kind of figure out why you have it before you get up. If you have a joyful emotion, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to keep that emotion throughout the day. Now, I want to caution you, don't push away unpleasant emotions. Instead, let them come to the surface so you can deal with them. Have you ever been in a team meeting where everything was going based on the agenda, and all of a sudden somebody says something that's way out left field that has nothing to do with the meeting? Most likely that came from an unchecked emotion. So that's why I say don't push the emotions away. Let them come to the surface so you can deal with them. The next one is spiritual aspect. Keeping yourself surrendered under, I believe in God. So I don't know what you believe in, but whatever you believe in, whatever your faith is, you stay surrendered to your faith. Keep that relationship because you have to have that relationship because when obstacles come your way, that's what you always have that you can fall back on is your faith. Spiritual aspect is also meditation. Meditate on whatever it is that you meditate on. Some people meditate on Bible verses. Some people meditate on affirmations. Whatever you meditate on that, because that gives you your quiet space. That brings you back to the inside of you so you can think. So you will further know how to lead yourself in whatever situation you're in, or lead your team in whatever situation they're in. Pam's pearl for you on that is your purpose. The people that you're leading will always be bigger than you. Always. They will be bigger than you. So you must keep your faith. The next one is, and the final one is financial. Learning how to be financially independent without sacrificing your happiness, and learning to plan. Why is that so important, you might say? That is important because, believe it or not, financial aspect helps you with self-discipline. And you need self-discipline to lead yourself or anyone else. These are the areas that we can work on. Whenever you feel like you want to personally grow, you want to step into becoming a better you, you want to grow in leadership, just start with any one of those. If you feel like you're stuck, just start with one of those and you will find that you're going to start growing. So the last thing that I want to leave with you all is leadership, again, can be fun. You can't be so focused and so bogged down that you can't have a good time. Because who wants to have a leader that is not fun, that they're boring and they're always to the point? You have to be able to meet people where they're at, because we're designed to have fun. As Colleen said earlier, you have to go from just enduring in life to enjoying in life. And that is one of the ways that you can enjoy life rather than just endure life. So that's what I have for you all today. And Colleen, I thank you so much for allowing me to speak to everyone today. It has been a privilege, and I will turn the mic back over to you.
Thank you, Pam. I'm looking for questions, and really what I'm seeing is, let's see, sometimes it feels like I'm stuck on record, rewind, repeat. The days don't always start out that way, but it seems to get that way. You have any advice for that person, my dear?
Absolutely. That's where we were talking about, when sometimes you just have to take time to just stop. Take a deep breath. Remember when we were talking about meditating? Sometimes you just have to go back and just think about what you just did. And try journaling. Journaling is awesome. I love, when I'm stuck, I love to journal. What I do is I start on one side of the page and it says, this is what I've been doing over and over and over again. And then I have a second column where it says, if there was nothing in this world to stop me, what would I do right now? Whether I can accomplish it now or not, I just start there and I start writing. So you may want to do that. I also have, I don't know, let me show you this. I have just wrote a planner. Can you see this here? And it has a lot of things on there that shows you a daily planner, and it shows you like visions and plans. You can list your accomplishments, you can list your difficulties. So this may be a resource for you as well. And I will have Colleen to put it in the chat for a planner. So this may help you as well. Or you can just get a piece of paper and just put on there what you want, but that's what I would recommend.
All right, I just put the YouTube so you can share this website with others later on where you'll find this YouTube video of Pam's recording today. Someone said, I love Pam's pearls. Yes, they are wonderful. And isn't there a book about Pam's pearls?
It is. I have that as well. Harvesting Your Pearls. And that's just what it's talking about. It just gives you different pearls on different things that you may be going through, different circumstances or situations. And if anyone is interested, you can just go to my website at pamhasfavor.com. And they're all on amazon.com as well.
When you say they're all, what do you mean they're all? Is there more than one book?
Yes, I have the planner that I showed you the first time, and then the book, and then, well, yeah, Becoming a Better You. So I have 2 books and a planner, yes.
Thank you. Then it says Pam is our Friday gift. Oh.
Oh, thank you.
And then one said, I totally agree. Body maintenance is important. If you take care of your car, we take care of our cars. Why not our bodies?
I
Good
love
point.
that.
That's a great point.
Yes.
How do you keep your team motivated when you have conflicts and obstacles, Pam?
When you have conflicts and obstacles, you're always going to have those. Let people be heard. Most of the time, people want to be heard. I found one of the easiest ways to do this is with my team, you can't just say, oh no, Coach Pam, I don't want this, let's do this. What you have to do is tell me what you want to do, why you want to do it, and then implement it. Show me how it's going to be implemented. Just that in itself will reduce a lot of that. Because people have all of these ideas, but they want you to do all of the legwork and all of the planning. That will take that. A good leader doesn't do that. A good leader will listen to your ideas. And maybe they have good ideas and it is something that you would like to use. Just show us how we would implement that. That's what I would start there. And obstacles, you're always going to have obstacles.
All right, somebody asked a question about delegation. Well, that kind of ties with what you're talking about, Pam. How do you delegate your responsibilities efficiently? I take care of everything because I'm a control freak. Oh, okay. I can relate to that. That way I know it's getting done right. How do you delegate?
You have to stop being a control freak. You have to learn how to trust yourself. Because that's what it all boils down to. You don't trust yourself that you have led someone else to be able to do what you can do. So you have to first start with you. That's part of personally growing, becoming a better you. Find out, why don't you trust other people? What is the worst case scenario if they did it different than you? We have 2 major crossroads to get to a store. So if somebody comes in from this way and somebody comes in from that way, aren't they both getting to the store? So that's where I would start, is finding out why you don't trust yourself. And then maybe start off with something smaller, something that in your mind is not going to be an end all to be all if it doesn't come out the way you want it. So do a little self-practice with something small and see how that works for you.
Couldn't get off mute. That mute button gets me every time. Then there's a question regarding collaboration. What's a good source to collaborate with others to get these new ideas to change? I know we were asked a question about what others think about you. How do you answer something like that? And collaborate with others, maybe? I don't know what they're asking here. Can you clarify that? Okay, being in charge is one thing. Being a leader is listening, as Pam suggests, listening. Okay. I like what you said about you can take different roads and get to the same way, to the same place. Here's one. How much should we focus on how others think of us? They're clarifying. Will too much focus on someone else's opinions hold one back?
Absolutely. We always want, as human beings, that's just something that we do. We always care about what others think of us. You have to be careful because that's a fine line in what others think about you, because then you're going to start getting into comparison. You have to, the determining factor is not allowing anyone else's limiting belief to override your belief. So that's why you keep your why in front of you. Why are you a leader? Why are you doing what you're doing? So if someone's opinion is contradictory to why I'm doing what I'm doing, maybe you'll put a little bit of effort into explaining to people, because as leaders, that's what we do. We try to help people to understand why we're doing what we're doing. But you don't want to put so much effort into it that you're losing your why. I hope that answered the question.
So, I like that question about collaboration, but I'm not really understanding. How do you collaborate, Pam, with others too? There's so many wonderful ideas. We don't have them all in our little minds. How do you find people to collaborate with, like when you're writing your books or other sources?
Absolutely. Usually when I collaborate, I always look out for someone who is already doing what I'm doing or doing what I want to do. That's always ahead of me. And then I just reach out to them and I'm like, these are my ideas. Like, for instance, I do a lot of women's events, a lot of women's conferences, and I collaborate with a lot of people when I do that. So what I do is I put my idea down in writing and I'm like, you know what, this is what I want to do. Would you like to collaborate with me? And they'd be like, oh yeah, you know what? This is a good idea. What about if you had a speaker to do this? What if you had a speaker to do that? What if you had this at the event? Well, you know what? This location might not be good. I've had an event before and we've had it over here and it was centrally located. So we had a lot of people. So I guess the short of that is find like-minded people and collaborate with them.
That was a good question. We have a couple more.
Okay.
What would help someone determine if they need a life coach?
Everybody needs a life coach. What would help someone determine that is, again, if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like you're on that treadmill, just working and working and working, but yet you feel like you're not getting anywhere, you may need a life coach. If you have limiting beliefs that you just can't get rid of, whether they're your limiting beliefs or whether someone else put their limiting beliefs on you, like, oh, I'll just use you for an example, Colleen. Oh, Colleen, no, you could never be a mentor for Toastmasters because of this, and this. You may need a life coach to come along because that makes you lose your confidence, to help you build up your confidence. You may need a life coach if you cannot see your strengths, because a life coach will be there. Again, like Colleen said earlier in my bio, a life coach is to put a different perspective on top of your perspective. So if you ever feel like you need a different perspective, you'll need a life coach.
Great answer. Now, someone else asked, can you share a little bit about how Pam's Pearls came about? Good question.
Absolutely. Pam's Pearls came about with the first question. I felt like I was on a treadmill just going and I was just stuck. I was at a job that I just did not feel like I was being utilized to my full potential. And so one day I had to become the leader of me before I could become the leader of someone else. Because at that time, I won't tell the whole story, you have to get my book because it's in my book. But at that time, I was not able to quit my job. I had to stay there. So I had to change my mindset on how can Pam grow and take advantage of a place that's not taking advantage of her and her skills. And so it's like, oh, that's where Pam's Pearl was going to come from. So one day I just made the choice. The next day that I walk into this building, it is going to be totally different. So I created this whole stage for myself. I became the director of my story. I got tired of somebody else writing my story. I became the director of my story. And that's how Pam's Pearl was born.
These questions come in different places, so I'm checking. They said they love that. Thank you. Thank you. Wait, here's another one. So exciting. Are you working on any other books?
Not as of today. I'm not. Actually, I just finished the planner. It just published this week. So that was perfect timing. I just finished this planner that I did. So this one is new. And eventually I'm going to do another one. I said I would never ever write another book. And I've written 2 on my own and I've co-authored 3. So
Can you tell us about your co-authoring? Which 3 are those?
oh my
What other
goodness.
books? Yeah, that's a question for you.
One was On Purpose was the name of that one. You know what? You caught me off of guard there. Hold on, I'm going to look it up really quick because I have it on my website. Say it has been a while since I've done those, and I actually forgot what the name of those were. And that's only because when you co-author with other people, you are not, you don't have charge over. Okay, so the other one was Beauty for Ashes. And I don't have the On Purpose one on there, but the other one was called On Purpose.
Wonderful. On Purpose and Beauty for Ashes.
Yes.
Any other questions? Anyone in the chat? Let me see. Looks like there's not. Any other tips or tidbits you'd like to give us at the end here? Oh, here comes another question. Sorry.
Okay.
Ah, this is a good one. Is there a podcast in your future?
Hopefully, yes. I want a podcast, and to be honest, I want my own internet TV show. That's my dream, my own internet TV show. So if anybody has any suggestions, talking about collaboration here, if you have any suggestions on what my TV show should be called, I'll take any suggestions because I'm working on that.
Oh, you already got an answer. Pam's Pearls.
There you go.
There's one. And yeah, there's another one saying Pam's Pearls. Your votes are coming in for Pam's Pearls. Yep, another one. All right.
And I would love for all of you to be a guest on my show when it happens.
Well, I believe podcasts are part of the Toastmasters chain as you're doing your path. So maybe we'll do a podcast with these wonderful folks on it someday with you, Pam.
Absolutely.
Well, I wish, and I'm sure you also wish, to honestly thank Pam for coming today and telling us how to become a better you for yourselves. Knowing our own strengths and weaknesses, I was thinking about those and how to be committed to intentionally find the perfect balance in our lives. Thank you so much for sharing these wonderful thoughts and ideas. And I posted the YouTube in the chat. So if you want to save that, everybody. I also want to thank our guests so much for being here today. Any other questions? I'm checking real quick. Going once, going twice. Oh, thank you, Pam, so much, and everyone else. Awesome presentation. Somebody else said, sign me up. This is the best advice anyone, not just for us Toastmasters. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely afternoon.
All right. Thank you all. I really appreciate you.